All right, using this new app called Super Screen Recorder. I'm just on my phone. And I'm just gonna go through the news here on Twitter here, just real quick, just testing this app. Lebanon is protesting by dropping beats and dancing in the streets. I gotta see this. Pretty cool, right? That's the way you should protest, world. Dropping beats and dancing on the streets. I'm gonna reply to that. That's how you do it. I'm just gonna say peace to the Lebanese. In the streets. I didn't mean to rhyme that, but it rhymed. So let's go back, see what the heck is going on. That's me. Follow me on Twitter if you got it, at Omar_SX3. I'm also on Minds. Don't you hate it when somebody was complaining about this picture right here about George Bush. Like, George Bush is on your header. Like, dude, you don't know what the heck you're talking about. That's how it is. People like your stuff. It's just your ego. I like that picture. All right, so we're about a couple minutes into this. Gavin Newsom request for price fixing investigation seems like a clear attempt to deflect blame for the street's own price increasing policies, writes at Christian Brits. So this was about Gavin Newsom wants to do an investigation into gas sellers, gas stations, or I guess. Like, why are you price fixing? Like, if you really want to save us some money, Gaviner, that's gonna be your new name, Gaviner, Gaviner, Governor Gavin. If you really want to save some people some money, instead of wasting money on investigating. At the end of this article, he says, instead of chasing after improbable price fixing conspiracies, perhaps Newsom should consider the ways in which his own administration might give working class motorists a break by lowering taxes or cutting energy regulations. Or how about building some new freaking roads with all that tax money? Some new repairs on the bridges and the freaking 22 freeway? Man. At Drew Blevin 77. That's a cool brother. Straight awake. I like this quote. I saved this meme. Here's this quote, this picture. This looks like it's from The Mind Unleashed. It's a cool site too. When plunder becomes a way of life for a group of men in society, over a course of time, they create for themselves a legal system that authorizes it and a moral code that glorifies it. Friedrich Bastiat. Frederick, maybe. I don't know. Jake Morphonius did a video about Donald Trump's oil wars in the Middle East. Definitely check that out. Steal the oil. How U.S. Democrats helped cultivate the barbarism of ISIS. That was a good read. Something that I took away from it. The first was Israel's long-standing approach to the Palestinians. By constantly devastating any emerging Palestinian institution or social structures, Israel produced a divide and rule model on steroids, creating a leaderless, ravaged, enfeebled society that sucked out all the local population's energy. That strategy proved very appealing to the neoconservatives, who saw it as one they could export to non-compliant states in the region. And the second was the Chicago School's shock doctrine, as explained in Naomi Klein's book of that name. The chaotic campaign of destruction, the psychological trauma, and the sense of dislocation created by these overthrow wars were supposed to engender a far more malleable population that would be ripe for a US-controlled color revolution. Definitely check out, in case you missed it, ICYMIRSS at ICYMIRSS, like Sam. In case you missed it, it's gonna be dropping. I don't know who this is. I don't know if it's a guy or a lady or what. Maybe a team of people. But they be dropping some knowledge. Only 259 followers. This is an hour ago. In heated meeting, U.S. warned Kurds not to talk to Assad or Russia. Don't talk to them, Kurds. 4 A's of American policy failure in Syria. That's the one that I retweeted earlier. Assange, poor Assange. Julian Assange. He's in jail right now. Just suffering, being tortured. Speaker of the House. Financially conflicted. Speaker of the House Nancy Pelosi. Her husband, venture capitalist Paul Pelosi, is also a Facebook investor, owning between $550,000 and $1.1 million worth of stock in the company. Former Pelosi staffer Dean Aguirre, now a senior vice president at Ogilvy Government Relations, lobbied the House of Representatives for Facebook in the third quarter of 2019 on immigration reform and workplace diversity. Because Facebook wants those coders, those code engineers, those website people that come from other countries. He can basically get them in, pay them cheap, keep all the money. I retweeted this girl. When I first saw her, I was like, that's a tranny. And it sure is. I don't follow her. But, or maybe I do follow her. Let me see. No, I don't. She's talking about Jessica Yaniv, this other trans lady that lost her case against the women who couldn't wax her balls. She now's got to pay him $2,000. Karma is a big bitch with a dick. That's what she is. She's fucking Karma. I just thought that was funny that she retweeted that because this girl, Jessica Yaniv, if you don't know the story, some trans person that sued like waxing businesses. She wanted to get her balls waxed, and they're like, we can't do that. We're not trained to do that, and sued them. Basically, took it to like some rights tribunal. So I'm glad she lost. Stupid person. Or I'm glad he lost. I don't understand how this is equitable. Go back to Assange here. Assange replied, "This superpower had 10 years to prepare. I can't remember anything. I can't access any of my written work. It's very difficult to do anything with such limited resources against a superpower. This UK judge rejects delay in Assange's extradition case." So he's going to get extradited here, and this is going to show everybody, like, this is what we do. But Assange has got an ace in the hole. And I think by the time he gets extradited here, it's going to come out, and we'll see what the heck. This lady got NY Times. She was the former senior director of information security at NY Times. She's like, today the NY Times chose to eliminate my role, stating that there is no need for a dedicated focus on newsroom and journalistic security. I strongly believe in what I do and what we did. To say I'm disappointed would be an understatement. She went on to tweet, "I'm grateful for the 3.5 years of collaboration and helping support brilliant journalists, blah, blah, blah. I've already had an outpouring question support." So she's like, I retweeted this because NY Times is like, we don't need journalistic security. There's no need for newsroom and journalistic security. We don't need y'all. I don't need you. I'm just reading this in my own head. I should be reading this to you. But yeah, I'm just testing out this new app I found. Super Screen Recorder. I could do these little news segments on my phone. Because I had an issue with my laptop and my browser wasn't working. And I don't know, my laptop was going through an update. I couldn't do this stuff. So Ilhan Omar leads a double life, dating her campaign aide. I seen something about she married her brother to get him in to the U.S. I don't know. That's crazy. But I mean, I've agreed with some of certain things she said, but I didn't vote for her. And I mean, not like I could because she's in Minnesota, but I don't agree with everything she says. I agree, like, Trump sucks ass and whatnot. But then again, lady, you might be a dirtbag yourself because, that's how politicians roll. Be all dirtbaggish. She had a little love nest popping out. It's her side piece right here. Looking all like, what the fuck? Ilhan Omar's brazen double life involving secret hookups. Daily Mail investigation. True Stream Media. I went in right here. Seattle Public Schools will start teaching that math is oppressive and an example of Western imperialism. Seattle Public Schools will start teaching that math is oppressive and an example of Western imperialism. Let's just go to this real quick. Ethnic studies curriculum will teach students that ancient mathematical knowledge has been appropriated by Western culture. Okay. part of the district's broader effort to infuse ethnic studies into all subjects across the K through 12 spectrum. Tracy Castro-Gill, Seattle's Ethnic Studies Director, said her team hopes to have frameworks completed in all subjects. Woke math. Social justice jargon that sounds smart but is actually vapid. What does it mean to decode mathematical beauty or identify how the development of mathematics has been erased from learning in school?